It's what we're doing in society now. I mean, we're we're making people persona non grata because of something they do. I've seen people read the room and go, "Whoa, that wouldn't bode well for me in the future." If for getting a job or getting votes or what have you.
Matthew McConaughey is leaving no stones unturned when it comes to absolutely humiliating woke culture. And you guessed it, Hollywood is not liking it one bit. To make matters even more interesting, McConaughey is not stepping back either.
I'm listening to rock and roll. Action! And there's the chick. All right. That's a metaphor.
From giving thanks to God during his award speeches to boldly taking shots at cancel culture, this Texas-born actor is stirring up a whole lot of buzz. It seems McConaughey isn't just making waves as an actor anymore. He's also getting attention for speaking his mind about the whole woke movement in Hollywood. Recently, at an award show, he did something that's nearly unheard of in the industry. These days, he's openly sharing his faith.
Now, first off, I want to thank God, because that's who I look up to. He's graced my life with opportunities.
In a place where just mentioning religion, especially Christianity, can feel like stepping upon eggshells, this was definitely a gutsy move.
And in that way, I mean, it's a verb. Right. It's about taking a day at a time, but having the big picture in mind. It's about and instead of or. It's about rights instead of rules. It's give a direction.
But McConaughey didn't stop there. He also talked about how Hollywood could benefit from a wider viewpoint.
There were people in the crowd that I have prayed with before dinners many times. And when I thank God, I saw some of those people go to clap, but then notice that
when it comes to free speech and religious beliefs, McConaughey feels these values often get brushed aside, as if they don't fit the popular progressive mindset. So why did this thank you to God make such waves in Hollywood? It's because talking about faith there can be more taboo than even a bad movie review. So when Matthew McConaughey openly thanked God, it definitely took a lot of people by surprise. Hollywood, which usually leans left, often sidesteps any talk about religion, especially from a more conservative perspective. In different interviews, McConaughey has shared why free speech and open discussions matter so much to him. He's been vocal about how the industry tends to quiet anyone who doesn't follow the dominant liberal line of thinking.
It's what we're doing in society now. I mean, we're making people persona non grata because of something they do. You can't erase someone's entire existence. Where the heck does some forgiveness go? And again, that, like optimism, it's not erasing the crisis. It's not saying there wasn't a problem first.
Of course, his remarks didn't exactly go unnoticed. There were some Hollywood faces like Woody Harrelson and Kate Hudson who openly backed his right to say what he believes.
No, I just, this country seems so divided, beautiful, ugly, black, white, blue, red. I love everybody. Maybe because I'm a redneck hippie.
Perhaps one of the best parts of all this is that Harrelson, who's been a close friend of McConaughey for years, even stood up for his views on social media, saying his friend has every right to share his opinion. But as you'd expect, not everyone in Hollywood was thrilled about it. Some folks think McConaughey's perspective feels a bit old school and worry it might slow down the progress Hollywood has made on social issues.
Rate of how happy our employers are. Can we have a place where businesses also have the same values that Austin, Texas has businesses that have the highest rate of happiness?
This clash isn't just about politics. It's a deeper question of what being inclusive really means. McConaughey's bold stance has stirred up a bigger conversation, one that's all about the push and pull of values in our society. Hollywood usually backs progressive causes like equality and protecting the planet. But Matthew McConaughey's critique hints that sometimes these progressive views overlook conservative and Christian voices.
I've seen people read the room and go, "Whoa, that wouldn't bode well for me in the future." If for getting a job.
So, is Hollywood really inclusive as it claims to be? McConaughey's stance makes us wonder if the industry's version of diversity truly covers a variety of political and ideological views. His action reminds us that real diversity isn't just about appearances, it's also about welcoming a mix of voices and opinions. What effect will McConaughey's bold statement have? He believes that free speech is essential for thriving democracies, and that cancel culture puts that freedom on shaky ground.
At the very end of it, they go, so we don't let those criminals get back. And I said, going, well, you're like, no, don't say the last part. You lost 50% of your audience.
Let's be honest, we live in strange times today. Truly a time where every word you say can be dissected and every opinion can spark backlash. McConaughey's refusal to stay silent is both daring and, in a way, inspiring.
I'm pretty much more my own referee, and I'm a harder referee on myself than anybody else. I'm a tougher judge on myself than anyone else.
But what could all this mean for free speech in Hollywood moving forward? Will Matthew McConaughey's courage inspire a new wave of openness in the industry, or will he be left standing solo, pushing against a strong tide? His actions have definitely sparked a conversation, and it's hard to say if this will actually lead to lasting change. One thing's for sure though, McConaughey isn't backing down, and neither should we when it comes to defending the right to free speech.
Of any issue relating to free speech is my passionate belief that the second most precious thing in life is the right to express yourself.
So why does it matter that McConaughey is taking the stand? Hollywood is known for its generally left-leaning views, often supporting progressive and secular values. But that doesn't always sit well with people on the right, who feel like Hollywood only values diversity and certain issues. The industry loves to champion diversity in terms of race, religion, and sexuality, but it seems way less open when it comes to diverse political or religious beliefs, especially if those beliefs are conservative or Christian. For Christian actors, the challenges can be especially tough. They often face intense criticism, and sometimes they're even shunned within the industry just for having faith or for sticking to their values. Still, some of them find ways to stay true to their beliefs while navigating an industry that's no stranger to greed, violence, and sexuality. McConaughey's willingness to openly speak about his faith and conservative view really stands out in Hollywood. By speaking up, he's shining a light on a big issue, the way certain viewpoints seem to be pushed aside in an industry that claims to be all about inclusivity. When people are dismissed or looked down on just because they're believers, it feels not only arrogant, but also, in a way, pretty hypocritical. This raises an important question that we all must ask ourselves. Can Hollywood truly call itself inclusive if it chooses to ignore certain beliefs? Celebrities have a huge ability to shape public opinion, and when someone like McConaughey voices his thoughts, it sparks conversations and debates that might never come up otherwise.
I felt improvement. I felt success in my relationships, in my relationship with the day, with my career, by following that, by treating others how I wanted to be treated.
His words are pushing the entertainment world to consider what's really going on and to open arms to different ideas as it should be doing. But here's where it gets tricky. Going against the usual norms in Hollywood isn't without risks, especially in today's climate of cancel culture. By choosing to speak out, McConaughey is showing that he's fully committed to standing up for his beliefs and the right to free speech. The big question now is, how will Hollywood respond to this? So, how exactly will Hollywood react to all this? Will the industry open its doors wider to welcome a variety of viewpoints, or will it stick to the same old way of doing things? McConaughey's actions have really put Hollywood at a turning point, forcing it to take a look at whether it genuinely values the diversity it so often talks about. The impact of what McConaughey has done is still unfolding. On one hand, he's sparked some important conversations about free speech and whether celebrities should feel free to speak their minds. But on the other hand, he's also facing criticism from people who think his views feel a bit out of touch. This situation also brings up a much bigger issue in America, where faith, politics, and social values often seem to clash. McConaughey's actions have shown just one part of this larger debate, highlighting the divides we have in society. Will there be any real changes as a result? Looking ahead, one thing is certain. The conversation about welcoming different viewpoints in Hollywood is just getting started. McConaughey's bold stance has encouraged others to speak up too, which might lead to a more open and inclusive industry. But achieving real change will take more than just one person's voice. It'll require many people stepping up and embracing all kinds of viewpoints. Hollywood has the chance to lead the way to true inclusivity, not just in terms of race and gender, but also in terms of ideas and beliefs. McConaughey's actions remind us that real diversity means making space for all perspectives, even ones that go against the norm. Will Matthew McConaughey's bold stand leave a lasting mark on Hollywood? It's tough to say for sure, but one thing's for certain, he's definitely got people talking. Regardless of how long the culture shift may take, and whether it even ends up happening or not, one thing's for sure. McConaughey has kicked off a massive conversation about what diversity and free speech really mean in the entertainment world. Whether this leads to real lasting change or not, McConaughey's boldness in speaking out is definitely a move in the right direction. So what's your take on this? Do you see McConaughey as a true advocate for free speech, or do you think he's off the mark? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and while you're here, don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button for more updates on Hollywood's latest controversies.